Hey guys, and welcome back to another Cultured Boys discussion. I'm Pepe and I'm joined by Nathan. And this week we're talking about the finale of Stranger Things. Yep, we've given it enough time. It's almost like 2 months at this point where this episode's going now, or roughly around then. And yeah, we're going to be discussing all things about the finale. How are you, Nathan?
I'm okay. I guess somber
Yeah?
in a way, because it's the end
Yeah.
of a pretty good show.
Yeah, that's I mean, yeah, I somewhat agree. I'm gonna be honest, right at the top of this episode. I really enjoyed season 4. I've enjoyed, actually, I'll go as far as I've enjoyed a lot of all of the Stranger Things up to 4. Going into season 5, my hype wasn't there though. I was
Okay.
kind of just, I don't know why. Even though I liked season 4, I was like, okay, I don't know how I feel about this
hmm
going into it. It didn't feel like I was hyped for it for some reason, but I was open to it. I was like, okay, cool, let's get this, let's go for it. Uh, and then yeah, we've watched it now. It's an end of an era, well, kind of. They'll do more
Yeah,
spin-offs, no
I'm
doubt,
sure.
and
Yeah.
they'll milk the franchise for all it's worth. But yeah, I don't think we really need to do a rundown of what Stranger Things is. We've done this before.
I was
People know
gonna
the
say
series.
I don't
Like,
think we need to. If you don't know, then
yeah.
go find out. I
It's
guess.
strange. It's like at this point, it's like one of the biggest series in the world right now, and has been for quite a while.
Yeah.
Like for the past decade, obviously we've had this. I think, what was it? Yeah, 2016 is when this came out, so it's its 10th year.
Oh my god!
Uh, but
I didn't think about that.
yeah, and like looking at it like from the get go, yeah, I think it's had a decent run. I'm glad it's ended here. I will also preface this as well that we will be talking about spoilers in this.
Yes.
So if you haven't watched the whole thing, go watch it before watching this episode. Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Agreed.
Thoughts about season 5? I'll let you go first.
Okay. Overall, it was okay. Do I
Mhm.
agree with a lot of the hate and stuff that it's been
Mhm.
getting? Not fully. Not really. Do I think that there could have been a better ending like a lot of people are calling for? Yeah, I do think there could have been better endings. But
Yeah.
like I feel like my personal gripes are with other things that aren't really
Mhm.
to do with the story. But like, yeah, overall, I thought it was fine. It's not the best season of the show.
Yeah. I 100% agree with you there. Like, I feel like the thing is with the story, I actually don't really have that much of an issue of how it ended. Everything around it is absolutely fine with me. I'm like, you've got to end it somehow.
Yeah.
Like, Vecna's got to die. You've got to deal with all the mind flare. You've got to deal with the upside down. You've got to deal with all that. You've got to
Mm,
close the chapter on so many things here. So, like, it's understandable. I don't have a problem with any of that. My problem is with the execution of it. That's
okay.
the problem that I have with it.
Interesting.
I feel like there's certain things like there's the pacing feels a little bit off to me. I think
Mm,
especially in the final episode. The final episode really felt like there's a lot of things up with it, which I don't no doubt we'll get into later on. Splitting into 3 parts. We've seen them do this before with
yeah.
season 4. Actually, that was the time they did it. Again, I'm not a huge fan of Netflix doing this, but I'm also not. I'm not its biggest hater. You know what I mean? I'm not the biggest hater of this style.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's fine. You do what you got to do. If you like, for example, season 4, I think the season break that they did, I think really told it well because I think I can't remember. I think it was the bit where what's his face, Doctor the Papa, the guy
Yeah,
who
yeah,
was
yeah.
running the whole thing in season 4. I think their break ended on him where he died, and then that's where the
Yeah.
last 2 episodes came in after that. And I thought that's a great way to end. Oh, there's also the fact that Henry was Vecna
Yeah,
slash
yeah.
one, all this kind of stuff. You got the end that backstory, and I thought that was a huge peak. And I thought, bloody hell, they did that well. And I thought they ended season 4 with those last 2 episodes quite well as well. I'm glad they broke it up there because they hit that peak there, made you like got you ready for more, and then gave you those two, and that was fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this leads me on to my next point, right? Because immediately going into season 5, we're already told there's gonna be 3 parts. There's gonna be this first lot where it ends with Will getting his powers, and you're like, whoa, that's cool. Then you have
Mm-hmm.
the second part, which ends with here's the big, like, here's how we're gonna deal with this. This is what our plan, and it's before they begin. Like, it's a
Yeah.
lead up to the final thing, and obviously the last part, New Year's Day, you got the final thing. The peak of season 5 for me was where Will got his powers. I thought that was cool how it ended. Every other bit after that, I was like, fair. Okay, that's cool. Fine. Like, proper 6 out of 10 stuff for me. I was like, yeah, cool. I'm not that fussed.
Fair, fair. I don't really know where the hype would have been. Like, I don't know. Will getting his powers was like sick, but like, yeah, I'm not sure. I I actually don't know where I would have even been like, oh,
It's
wow.
But this is the thing, right? Even with that peak where Will got his powers, I quite like that. I bear in mind actually, I watched all of volumes 1 and 2 in the same go. I didn't watch volume 1, then wait and watch volume 2. I watched all of it in one go,
Okay.
and so I didn't even have that break of being like, "Whoa, I can't wait to see what's next." I just didn't watch it until season 2,
I mean,
volume 2
I
dropped.
also
Yeah,
didn't have the break because I didn't
yeah,
watch it until all of it was out,
yeah,
and
and that's
I pretty
valid.
much
But
had my own weird split. But I watched it all in like 2 days, pretty much.
yeah, it's doable in those 2 days. I mean, considering how long some episodes are in it, yeah,
Mm.
you probably would need the full 2 days for it. Um, yeah, I don't think, like I said, like I think season four's peaks did it really well, whereas season 5, I don't get me wrong, I think the willpower thing was my favorite
Mm.
bit of it. But I still don't think it hit the peaks of what we were seeing in season 4 when they did that break there, if we're going to compare them.
Fair, fair.
Um, this also leads me on to the like season. Was it volume 2's ending where we see Will come out to his friends and
Yeah.
family, which is less than the OMG factor, which was in volume 1's ending. It plays more on your emotional side, and it plays
Hmm.
more into that. And again, perfectly fine. In fact, it's a different way to end off on those breaks. No problem with that whatsoever. I feel the problem with it is that it's all just fine. This is like I said, like
Yeah.
I don't. I like we've known that Will was gay from like season 4, and like him coming out is a big deal to him. Absolutely fine. It's all that perfectly fine. No problem with it. It's just I don't feel like it's like that OMG factor. It doesn't bring the hype for me. And
Yeah.
then
I can see that, and I kind of agree. It's definitely, and I hate to say it because it was, again, for the character, it's quite a monumental moment.
Absolutely.
But like, it is definitely, you can feel that it's like, oh, okay, cool. We got to start tying up some threads because we're coming to the end. And I'm wondering if it's because they knew they were going to make like basically a movie for the very last episode, and maybe
Yeah.
that's why everything felt rushed because Netflix is like, right, we've only given you this much budget. We are not budging on this. You will have
Yeah.
to make this fit into this space
Yeah.
because we are not doing any more. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if it's that kind of thing as well, you know?
There's also like bits and pieces where like you look at the documentary thing that came out, and you have the Duffer Brothers, like where like like where it's behind the scenes look at it and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and you're seeing that the Duffer Brothers are writing scripts on the day, basically. And
Yeah, that was
yeah,
also. I watched a video. I didn't watch the documentary, but like I watched a video that also said that, and I'm like, that's quite strange to do, considering this is like,
yeah,
as far as anyone knows, minus what we said at the beginning, because
yeah.
obviously they're going to make spin-off for stuff. But like, as far as anyone knows, this is like the last time you're gonna do it. So it feels strange
Yeah.
that it was done like that instead of like, right, this is the plan, this is how we're
It's especially like you can absolutely outline the story and stuff like that. I imagine that,
yeah.
that takes a lot of time. 2 years, bear in mind, to write basically movie long episodes and a lot of other stuff. It's a big like undertaking. To be fair, like
Yeah.
it's understandable writing a storyline for one, but like some scripts take years to like master, and like and that's just the script itself. You might have had the idea, and they might have had the idea of how it was ending from a while ago.
Mm.
And then there's storylining it, which takes time, and you're scripting it, which takes time. And there's certain bits though, like 2 years, like maybe it's just you've not given yourself enough time here. A lot of
Maybe.
people are like, "Oh, it's 2 years. Surely they should have done something." And I'm like, I'm kind of like the opposite way. Like you guys haven't given yourself enough time, if anything. I understand you've got pressures from Netflix and you got pressures like to keep this thing relevant.
Yeah.
But like that, you're like considering the amount of stuff they're writing. Like it feels like you've given yourself a ridiculously
See,
tough
I
deadline
feel
here, and
I kind of feel the same because it's like it kind of feels like a disservice to the series itself. You know, like
yeah,
for 4 seasons they've built up this thing that through highs and lows that you're like, man, what a show, you know, and then for like the ending to have most of us just be like, it was all right. It does really feel like a disservice to
yeah,
just what it is in general. And I think you're right. I think it is like there was just not enough time to really cook and develop the ideas and like really like map out what was going on instead of what we had. And that's maybe why a lot of fans are like, oh, you could have wrote a better ending or we could have done a better job. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's just strange.
I think it's where you come from, like where we've come from in this series as well. Where bear in mind, this started off as like 5 mates in their basement doing D&D. One of the kids goes missing, and their families are trying to find where he's gone. That's where it all started. You had a set amount of characters, enough like main cast and supporting cast, easy enough to write for. You look where you're at in season 5 now. Look at like the supporting cast, right? How many people are in there? Like like you can probably flesh out your and develop your characters to a certain point, but others are gonna be dead in the water at that point. Like at what point? How much can you develop someone like Murray, for example? Like I think
mate.
they've done.
Nah, they did him perfect. He developed as much as he need to.
He did.
My man was a smuggler. He loved his fucking truck. He's solid, man. He's good.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, Murray's been that character, but he's always been that. I don't have no problem with Murray, but there's certain points where you're like, well, where can you go with this? There's no more. But like, and then other characters like Robin, for example, have been developed really well. I think like since the first time we saw her in season 3, who felt like quite a side character, and then developed into this main character throughout season 4, and then where we have her now.
Yeah,
I think is brilliant. But
then you've got like characters like Steve, who was a main character and was pretty much quite I wouldn't say integral, but like he was quite important to the cast, especially in those mid seasons.
Yeah, like he's a fan favorite. He's the fan favorite character. But where have you gone with him? You know what I mean? What is the development for Steve apart from I'm fighting over Nancy with Jonathan? I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say no one cares about that, and like nothing against Jonathan, but like.
No one gave a shit about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think we focused on Jonathan a bit too much.
Was there anyone in season 5 that watched Nancy and Jonathan break up and like, oh no, I can't believe it? No one gave a shit.
There was someone. You know there was someone out there who was like, no,
like, the 1%. Yeah, the 1% like
dream
that.
Shit. You know what I mean? Like they were like,
there's always one. There's always one.
There will be. There's always someone.
Yeah. But like that's the one thing when like I like going back to Steve though, like since season 1, you see that development in season 1 for Steve, where he's that dickhead who becomes just likable and befriends Dustin, and then you see him throughout the series just develop this friendship with Dustin, and it's like it's so cool. And then like I think even like Dustin has a pretty good development in this final
Yeah,
season as well,
actually,
'cause he's getting over
Dustin
stuff
had
with
a lot.
Eddie
Yeah.
and yeah, and I'm glad they didn't forget about Eddie. Like, because sometimes when
Mm.
they've killed like certain characters in previous series, they never really like feed back to that. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but
It's like,
like from the response though,
mm,
I feel like
yeah,
even when you're in that like time crunch, you're writing episode like literally scripts for episodes, episode by episode. That's gotta be in the back of your mind somewhere constantly. That like
yeah,
if we do not, you know, there's like certain things that you're just like, if we don't touch on this, we're gonna get backlash. There's just no way about it,
yeah.
right? And Eddie is
I think that
definitely one of those things. If you did not mention him at least once, everyone would have immediately just been like, "Fuck this, fuck season 5,
yeah.
it's done, it's cooked."
I loved how much like he was still relevant, and I don't know if we definitely mentioned this in our season 4 discussion as well. Is that remember, like I think it's towards the end. It's like, is Eddie gonna come back? Everyone was like, Eddie's gonna
Yeah,
come back. Eddie's gonna come back as a vampire because in D&D there's this character called blah blah blah, and it was like, no, it's fine that he's gone forever. I'm sorry, everyone loved Eddie, but he was that character that needed to be
I'm not gonna
sacrificed
lie.
and then
It
like
could have
develop Dustin
been
more.
it could have been an interesting story if he did come back, and that's another way
Mm-hmm.
for Dustin to have dealt with his
Mm-hmm.
grief.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't mind the way they did Dustin's story. I really don't mind. Like it's grief is just something you go through. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like the whole process is just everyone does it differently, experiences things differently. And this is one of those where I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, it feels real enough. You know? I just wish that him coming to terms with things, like him and Steve, I kind of wish that happened
Yeah.
earlier because I feel
Yeah.
like we had this like lingering like passive aggressive between the two of them for just like way too long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like I get it. For the length that it went, it still caused conflict when they're like doing stuff in the Upside Down and do on missions together. But at the same time, you're like, but we could have had it so much sooner where they're trying to work through the problems. You can still have the conflicts. You know, they can still argue and
Yeah.
sort of not agree. But like they could have started working towards being friends again and understanding. Because you're like, Steve waits really, really long to turn around and be like, look, bud, I get it.
Yeah.
You're hurt. I understand that. But you know when it's like Steve already knew what to say for how long? And he just didn't.
Yeah. And there's like you can see it from Dustin's side where like because Steve has always been that character where he goes and sacrifices himself, and it
Yeah.
gets to that point where Dustin's like, I just don't want you to end up like Eddie, and like then you get that whole thing. The thing is, those two characters have their beginning, middle, and end.
Mm.
And it like obviously you're balancing so many other characters' stories, so it does feel like that does, like you said, it drags out a little bit with it. And I'm glad they get a good ending because certain
Yeah.
characters don't get that ending at all.
That-
Certain
yep.
characters don't get anything. So I'm glad we do get that with Steve and Dustin. This also feeds into my next criticism about the whole of season 5. Is that, as I mentioned before, there's always that one character in previous seasons where you see them throughout the series and then they're killed and they're a fan favorite. You know what I mean? There was Barb in season 1. There was
Yeah.
Bob in season 2. There was like
Yeah.
Alexi in season 3. There was Eddie in season 4. And we got Callie in season 5. Is that what we got? Is that our like? Oh my god, no death! Like, you serious? Is that our death?
Yes,
like-
that is our death, and okay. This very very lovely transition as well for what I want to talk about that. I almost forgot that's something I want to talk about, but I agree with you. Who the fuck cares? What this girl that was in season 2 and then never again until right at the end?
Yeah.
But even when I was watching it, I was like, "Oh, that's cool. They brought her back." I don't care beyond that though. Do you know what I mean? I was like, "Oh, cool."
No
it's
one
a nice
cared about
callback.
her in actively known as the worst episode in season 2, and now you're like, we brought her back. And you're like, cool, you tied it up. Don't give a shit. I honestly don't give a shit.
You know, what I was expecting to be there, you know, when they're like, oh, the scary door.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been cooler if that was her mum.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know, like
Just
because
actually
you,
thought, that'd be insane. Like,
do you know what I mean? Like, because before she like found her mum, but it was like the nurse that raised her, right? So like,
yeah.
wouldn't it have been cooler if behind that door was her actual mum, and she just, for whatever reason, just feels this like connection with this person? Like,
that would be
somehow I feel like that's way better than, hey, the girl from season 2.
There's so there's I kind of get that, to be fair, because I think where that comes from is like you get to play on Eleven's emotions a bit more there, and like right now there's a lot of stuff going on with her. I think it's with Hop as well. There's a lot of that like animosity between them again. Like it's weird though, because everything about Eleven and Hop's relationship was quite cool in previous seasons, and now it just feels like, okay. Oh, so this is the thing that's going on. That's fine. And I'm led to believe that Hop, who was a cop in in this in Hawkins, is now like almost like army, like military, like taking out whole armies of people.
Well, he was in the military as well, but I know what you mean. There's no way that dude just is all of a sudden a one-man army.
Yeah, it feels like, don't get wrong, you need your tank. You've got your tank there.
We have our tank. Like, it's Nancy Wheeler. You see how much she was fucking, how much of a badass.
That's a whole other thing. That is, we will talk about Nancy in a bit, because clearly just like somehow out of nowhere, don't be wrong, fucking sick, but out of nowhere was this like okay, look, just going back to the closing on the Hop and 11 thing, feel like all of that could have been done better. It felt like, again, so many storylines going on. One strand that I would kind of just did not really care for. I was like, that's obviously one of the main ones, because Elle is one of the main characters. Just like, okay, it's cool, but I'm not hooked on this like I was in previous ones.
Yeah.
And Khaled couldn't give a shit.
Okay. Right. Just on that Callie point, right? So you mentioned her death. How the fuck am I supposed to believe that when she wasn't shot, she could keep this illusion up as far as the car went? And then all of a sudden, when she's shot in the stomach, and she's like, I ain't gonna make it, Jane. I'm going to die. She manages to project 11 halfway across the friggin' town.
Yeah. Like,
when
point
she's
to
died,
point.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, before, she was like in the car and they're moving and they're like, oh, it's fading. Oh, and she's like, oh, not strong enough. And all of a sudden now it's like, I'm dying. I'm as powerful as I've ever been.
Yeah, no, it's like, what is this, like Saiyan strength, is it? Like, oh yeah, I'll beat down, like get stronger.
Well, that's the worst part. It can't even be Saiyan strength, because she didn't come back from the brink of death. Nah. She was dying and she's still like, oh yeah, mate, fucking, I'm so strong right now, don't worry.
No, it didn't even cross my mind about that.
Honestly,
it's one of
not
that
believable
adds
at
to the
all.
list. Nah, that adds to the list of
ridiculous
inconsistencies that we've got here. And like,
I remember when I was watching that part with my friend, afterwards I was like, that was bullshit. And they were like, what do you mean? And I was like, think about that. Everything we've seen, think about that. That doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, that would not have happened at all. No. She wasn't that strong in the fucking first place.
Yeah, nah. It's just plot. Does it work out? Plot is another thing to add to the growing list of not sure on that. Like, there's like the Duffer Brothers can explain it however they want to explain it, because they have got some answers for everything.
I
I'm
will
not gonna
say,
I have
though,
every answer, but like, yeah.
that was an example of at least CGI that looked okay, like looked believable, is fine. I don't know about you, but I had many, many instances where I'm like, God, all this money invested, and yet it's still it
Which
look
bits were jumping out at
great.
you about it? Because I feel like there's like
Okay,
it
so
wasn't my biggest argument, but yeah, go on.
easily at the start, Kid Will, I was just like, this looks weird,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
right? He looked
Okay,
he
yeah.
looked like a video game character. For one, he had that same sort of shininess and like look as if I was like playing a modern game today. Like if you told me that was a fucking cutscene from a Resident Evil or something, I'd be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
I
just
was like
overall,
unsure if it was even like did they like get another actor at some point? Part of me is like,
I
are
don't
they
know.
CGIing this,
I
or what are they
think
doing here? Because like it felt a bit like I
I
can't remember what he
think
looked like
it's
originally.
probably a body double, and then they used probably reference images from
Yeah.
when he was younger and tried their best. But it looked really weird, and like I do mean literally to me looked like a video game character. I play plenty of video games, and
Yeah, yeah.
he definitely would have just fit in because there's a certain lighting look and a certain sheen that like CGI and video game models get that you don't really get naturally. There's just something about it. It looks kind of like plasticky in a way.
Yeah, I get that. It's like it's the paleness as well. It's a lighting thing.
Mm.
It's a mix of different things of it, and yeah, trying to make a small child, I guess, from CGI is something
Look,
that is a bit
it
of a
that's the biggest one that stood out to me. But just overall, a lot of the
yeah,
times where they're like in the upside down, and
yeah,
you're like, okay, this is clearly on a big like green screen like
yeah,
soundstage thing, right? Because like
yeah,
there's I get it because it's the upside down, so that's how they could explain it. But around
hmm
everyone is a weird, hazy kind of outline a lot of the times. And like
yeah,
it's it's again got that kind of like multimedia like lighting overlay to it. Like they tried their best. And I'm not trying to shit on anyone's work, but like it just was like, okay, the backgrounds are one thing, and then the real people are slotted in and color matched as best they can. But there's just something about it that you're like, I am not sold that this is not a green screen.
it could be a production time thing, to be honest. I
Yeah,
think there's a lot of footage here, and there's a lot of stuff to go through. As well, like again, there's more time in the upside down more than ever in this
yeah,
one. There's a fucking 2 hour long thing in it, basically. More than ever, it feels like it's probably a lot more taxing.
yeah.
Um,
I completely
it also
understand that.
like I get you with what you're saying as well. Like in certain scenes, I think there was some stuff where I think it was like Dustin, Steve, Nancy, and Jonathan, where they're standing on this building, and sometimes I think it's with Hopper and Murray as well, where they're standing on and
Yeah,
there's a set there. There's clearly a set, and then the background is that green screen. They're like looking at something in the background. It feels that more than ever. Nothing
yeah.
feels like too
Again, and
like
it's because of that like there's, and this might just be me, but like I tend to notice that there's around difficult places, and I think this is
mhm,
I also know this just because of like making thumbnails and stuff. Sometimes when you're fucking
yeah,
around, there's certain shapes and complex human natural like patterns that like programs just struggle with, and that's where you see like there's kind of like a softening or smoothing of lines, like around
mm,
curly hair and stuff. Sometimes there's like that kind of like fuzziness that kind of looks like it's smooth or feathered,
I get
and
yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah.
like, that's strange, but okay, I guess you could be you could technically just be like, whoa, it's the Upside Down. It's a weird and wacky place. It just doesn't look right.
Yeah,
You know what I
he
mean?
can kind of explain it away with that in some
You,
ways, but at the same
it's not a
time,
good
it's a
explanation,
multi-million
but yeah,
production.
you know
Yeah,
what I mean.
so
It's just one of those where I'm like, it's a shame, and I really wish I didn't notice it because I'm not normally one to notice a lot of that stuff because
hmm
normally I would just get absorbed in what I'm seeing, even though I know
yeah,
what to
yeah.
look out for, just because of the things we've done, and the skills we've
hmm
acquired over
hmm
our lifetime.
Yeah,
But like,
yeah.
it's just this time out of anything, I was really like, oh, that's that one's that there and that little bit there. Like it just didn't look super great.
Yeah, I get you with that. There's some things there. I think it just goes for the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, a bit of time could have just been spent more on it. I think.
Yeah.
Let's go for the Nancy thing then, and let's talk about that kind of fight. That final battle overall, I think, is something to be dissected because
Mhm.
you have one man Nancy, one man army Nancy going against this mind flare thing, which is now
Yeah.
just freaking like giant. It's like Monster Hunter, like
Yep.
Lost Planet levels of
Yep.
like fuck. I've got to take this thing down. And I'm supposed to believe that Nancy, alongside her 5 or 6 mates, are suddenly like understandably, yeah, 11's there doing a thing, and yeah,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
cool, yeah, that's it makes it believable, I guess. But you're telling me Will, no, Mike with a fucking flare gun is there, like destroying this thing? I don't know, man. I don't know. It feels a bit
What I mean, like,
crazy.
what is it? It's it's Mike with a flare gun, Lucas with like
Yeah,
what
it's a
acid
slingshot. Yeah,
or
like
like petrol
yeah,
balloons or something,
yeah,
and then Robin with like Molotovs.
yeah. No
And then-
defensive, no defensive items here. Like this monster
what look,
is probably the weakest shit I've ever seen.
I would rather be any of them than fucking Steve
Mhm.
and Dustin down there with their fucking Bowie knives like tied to
Oh,
sticks.
oh my god, yeah, fucking like this, if it does feel like video game. Hey, tackle the weak point, yeah, like
Yeah.
right under there, and then fucking
Yeah,
like,
you
just
know
shoot
when
at
you're
it
like,
until
okay,
like
cool. This is our raid party. This is all we
yeah,
have. These guys, everyone's got their class, and it's like, yeah, you guys. I guess you're the DPS. You gotta go in there and
yeah,
do some damage
yeah.
and provoke.
And have you heard the explanation as to why this world is so barren, and the fact that this world which is supposed to have the Demogorgons and Demodogs filled with it roaming round, they're just not there at all?
No, I
You
didn't.
heard the explanation for Vecna didn't anticipate that other people would attack, so he just called them off.
Okay, that's shit. That's a shit
Yeah,
explanation. I don't like
it's
that.
a really I don't think they've thought of it. I think they said this in an interview, right? And I feel like it was kind of made in passing that like they had to
Mm,
think of something on the spot. And at that point, you're like, just say we fucked up. Like honestly,
yeah.
like yeah, it wasn't a main concern for the production. Just say that. Don't make up shit on the spot and be like, oh, Vecna called them off. It
Yeah.
would have made sense.
Don't
Like just
retroactively
yeah,
make it shit. Like,
yeah. Like just even come up with some
ah.
spirit bomb shit, like oh the demo that their life force was used to power the mind flare or something
Yeah.
like that.
Or we
yeah,
we smushed them together. They combined into
yeah.
the mind flayer.
Like that would have even been like the mind flare needed the power, so he sapped energy from these, something like that. It's the loosest shit. There probably is more holes to it. I thought that up in 2 seconds. It's exactly what they did, and that's the problem that I had. And the Vecna thing as well. Brilliant backstory, and obviously apparently links to the stage play and stuff like that, which is cool. You got a bit more backstory about Henry. Lovely. He fucking dies in about 5 minutes. You
Yeah.
kidding me? You like there wasn't any like mad thing that I was like, yeah, this is cool. Like, no, you've set this villain up so well in season 4, so well, and he's a big menace throughout the whole of season 5, and you're telling me you're killing him off in
You
5
know what this
minutes,
is?
bro? Come on, man.
This feels like Bleach is ending. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, they built up this guy, Yuha Buck, this whole time,
Yeah.
and then the manga is like done. The fight is done in like a chapter and a half, and you're
It's
just like,
mad, isn't it?
what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, dude. I keep repressing
You-
that Bleach ending, bro, to be honest.
You're not
oh,
wrong
wow,
though.
bro. Yeah.
It is not as epic as it could have been.
Nah, man. And that would have been your perfect point to have one of your main characters who you've built up so well. And this is where some of my disappointment comes through because it doesn't feel like a Stranger Things finale. It feels like
Okay,
you
wait.
just need to wrap up and you're too scared to kill off one of your big characters.
Who
That's what it
who would
is.
you have killed off in that fight though? If someone had to have
Okay,
died.
if I was gonna kill off anyone, right? It would in the fight. Okay, I'm picking going through each one, which we, Will would have been one of them. I
Yeah.
think him like that. It
He
would
would have made the
been
most
so,
sense
like,
because of his
yeah.
powers. If you get rid of him,
and like he gets
yeah.
the powers. He was the whole thing in season 1. It like he did that massive like spilling out and like giving that emotional story at the end of volume 2, and then you have this and he's like, thank you all for looking after me, I'm gonna sacrifice myself to actually take him down with me. He's the one that's connected to Vecna. He can still use some of that to actually go through with it. Like that would have been a hero's death, if anything. That's what you kind of want with that. And there could have been that. I don't think Steve would like killing off Steve. I understand why they kind of led you to it, where he's about to fall into the void and then he gets saved by Jonathan. They like trick you like, oh, is he gonna die? And
I think they just did that because I was about to say it's because it's a fan favorite. I saw people online being like, don't you dare touch Steve.
Exactly, and then no, we're not going, because they know that this is one thing. It felt like they were just. This is where it comes back to my point. It felt like they were scared to actually kill off anyone major, because they didn't even kill off Nancy and Mike's parents, like not so, like in the nicest way, like they would have died from that. Any other person. You're telling me that these Demogorgons killed a whole militia force between 3 of them, and they couldn't kill fucking Mike's parents.
I thought at least Mike's dad was gonna die. I don't even know dude's name.
It's just Mike's dad. It's just
at least their mom has a name, and she did.
Yeah.
She went full on like fucking London, and she fucking bottled a fucking Demogorgon.
She went Mama Bear, and that's cool. I love that for her. Give her like a fucking
the shit out of that Demogorgon.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's good, but like just
you're right.
Just don't be afraid. Just get rid of it.
I wasn't fully expecting Karen to die, but
no,
like their dad, I thought he was 100% dead. Because I mean, what has he done?
Yeah.
The entire series, I'm like, what's my man done? Except be like this just background character.
Yeah, it like there we go. I think it would have like actually propelled Mike and Nancy's characters as well. Like fucking hell, our parents, my mum or dad or whoever, has died because of Vecna. Vecna has sent.
I mean, it would have like really pumped up all the Wheelers, considering Holly.
It would have
well,
absolutely. Maybe that's the whole point, that like Holly gets taken is with Mr. Whatsit, and they had to make that. Holly would not also. I feel like Holly's one of those characters which is quite a good character. They fleshed her out really well in this season, but like if she did see her parents get murdered in front of her, it feels a bit like, oh yeah, sure, but she doesn't know it. She doesn't actually know that bit, so it could be explained away. I'm going around in circles here, but it just feels like just kill someone. Just like it sounds so flippant, but just like you want your Stranger Things ending. You want people to feel this and be like, whoa, this is epic, and you just get this kind of like very lukewarm, kind of straight linear, like short 5-minute slaying of the Mind Flayer and fucking Vecna, and they could have just done it so much better. Like I think that's another problem with it. Flesh it out a bit more. That was my main takeaway from that.
I'm trying to think who I would have killed off, to be honest.
Who would you? Yeah.
I mean, there's the obvious.
Jonathan.
No, that wouldn't have done much. I mean, you could have, because then that might have spurred Will to just surge, and all of a sudden unlock
Will would
even
have been,
more
and
ability.
then you also have Joyce as well. Joyce is already
Yeah.
fuming that with what her family's been torn apart.
Yeah.
Even Nancy, even though they're broken up, like Nancy and Steve, those trio, they still like Will is still a huge character to them. There's still quite a lot. Sorry, Jonathan is still like a main character to them. Like, there is, you still have that. These people could go fucking nuts about.
I mean, like,
Jonathan
there's
dying.
the obvious, like, and they were hinting at it anyway already, but like 11,
Yeah.
it, like a mutual destruction and sacrifice. Like, the only way Vecna's going down is in this final fight. We have this epic everything, and then we both die. Now everyone is like suffering. They're gonna be grieving, but it's not coming back anymore. Like, like as far as everybody knows, like the whole numbers project, like that whole thing, that's the final threads. Everything's gone now. Like everyone's dead.
Are you satisfied, not satisfied with 11 not being dead at the end of it? Because obviously that was the whole thing where she's talking to Mike and it's like,
Yeah,
this is our last goodbye, that sort of thing. Do you think it would have been more impactful if that was the end of 11?
I think it could have been more impactful, and I think it could have been more of a way. It's a more permanent way of ending Stranger Things. You would definitely struggle now to find more stuff to do. There's clearly a reason why they kept her alive. It's so that there's more stories to tell if and when they want to, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's easier to tell an interesting Stranger Things story because you've still got your superpowered fucking protagonist out there somewhere in the world doing fuck knows what.
Yeah.
It's better than being like, oh, we follow the boys and Max as they go to college, and Holly and her friends as they go through school, and no one gives a shit about any of this because they're just regular people. I think it could have made a more impactful story, but again, that's more of a permanent, like, hard close of like, this is Stranger Things is this strand of like supernatural stuff is done. No more Upside Down. Vecna's gone. Elle is gone. Like I said, as far as anyone knew, the entire anything to do with the Numbers project, like that's all done and dusted. Like I think that could have been quite a good ending, or a impactful character to have died. I mean, as much as I love Steve as well, just because, like you said before, there's been fan favorites die every season.
Killing off the main fan favorite
there's one left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But like my problem is, I actually would have agreed with you straight away with that. My problem is right now it feels like they know that Steve is the fan favorite, and for me, I think to kill him off wouldn't really. You've milked it so many times that I'll be like, oh, okay, you just killed him off for the sake of it now. I think any other season where you're like, no, I don't want him to die, it felt like that was a thing. This one, it feels like you're just doing it because fucking hell, you can. That's
the only way I would have accepted it, now that I'm thinking about it, right, is Steve and Dustin don't reconcile. They're still still at each other. They haven't worked it out yet. Steve dies, and then Dustin lays it all out because he's lost the last
just
best
give him
friend.
the biggest fucking trauma ever.
Literally, you go full trauma, hit it so hard. Dustin is now just like destroyed. Gives him the ultimate, gives him the ultimate motivation to like, I have to end him. Like, we have to kill. However, I don't know how that would work out, because ultimately Dustin isn't the one who's gonna kill Vecna. So,
No, that's it.
so
I mean,
really, you
wild
just
if it.
harmed, yeah,
I feel like there's like a potential like multiverse kind of thing where that does happen, and it feels like there's like the alternate endings
Yeah.
where that I feel like there could be a multiverse where that does happen. Steve dies. Dustin just goes full on Batman. Just like doesn't have any
Mate,
joy for
fucking-
the rest of his life, and just like fucking
Dustin just goes fucking
ends
nuts.
Vecna, but
And,
doesn't. Revenge
You know-
doesn't satisfy him. He just keeps going. Like all the kids are like, "Hey, D&D, yeah, like
Yeah.
well, we're moving on with our lives."
Oh,
Dustin's
man.
like, "No, I will
You're-
never move on."
You're okay. No, like those typical tropes where it's like Steve dies and then Dustin just snaps and he doesn't remember. All he sees is red and he like just picks up both Bowie knives and he just goes fucking slashing away,
Jeez, yeah.
hacking and slashing. Like there's that. I think personally, I think that's the only way I would accept if Steve died.
Yeah,
Because
I think
Steve is impactful to other characters, but like the way it is like if he dies, his death spurs on the other characters. But where he's also reconciled with Dustin, it's like it doesn't feel like as truly impactful as it could be if he died. So like that's why I think if they don't make up or they don't work it out, then it's like, because on top of that, then you've still got like Robin, who's they're like best friends too. Nancy still got some feelings. Like maybe Jonathan
Jonathan's
comes
like,
to
even
terms.
though-
Yeah.
I think that there's certain things you could definitely do with it. Like there's so many characters that like integrate with Steve.
right.
And he is part of that. He's
And
up,
like alternatively, you could also have Mike die because he's
that was one thing I was thinking. Yeah,
because he's the leader of the group, like the D&D group. He's the DM.
yeah.
Plus 11
Mhm.
is that's. This is a lot of the things I'm saying are like based off
I think
of tropes
my
that
thing
I've
with
seen
that-
in like manga and stuff, but
Yeah, that's the thing with Mike as well. Like when you look at his story throughout the whole of season 5, he just exists really,
Yeah.
and is like 11. We still need you. I don't want you to go 11, and then it's like cool. Like what else did you contribute?
Right.
What else is Mike contributing in this whole season?
flare gun.
Nothing apart from the fact that he. That's it. That's it. You know what I mean? Just here's the flare gun. Like it feels like a fucking like some kind of deeper meaning where it's like we're gonna give you the bare minimum here because it was like he did the bare minimum in this whole series, like in this whole season. Like it did enough. Dustin had a better story. Fucking like what was it? Will, perfect story. Will, out of all the kids, like easily, like Lucas had a great story.
Yeah.
Like he was still looking after Max and stuff like that. I think Lucas's like stuff was like great when you show it like that. Max's stuff is great as well. There's so many good points of him, and then you got Mike, who's probably the weakest character. In, like not physically, but like within this right now. Like I don't give a shit about Mike. What have I seen him do? Nothing. Like apart from be like, oh, 11.
except for give speeches.
Okay.
That's it. He like
Yeah,
rallies the
yeah.
troops in a way, but that's about it. Like when he was talking about like Holly the Brave or whatever the frick.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's the motivator.
He was like going around giving speeches, but like
yeah.
otherwise, unfortunately, he didn't really do much. That's why I also think like his death could have been impactful because then it spurs on
contributed to something to the series.
well, there's that, but like
yeah,
it's also like 11 could become enraged and more powerful, and then Nancy has a reason to get even more badass because her
True,
brother
yeah.
died.
Will is,
Holly,
like, freaking-
Holly could have
fucking hell.
unlocked something. Something could have happened because she's also connected to Vecna this whole season. The loss of her brother, who she loves the most, who talks her down from like crazy thoughts and like depression and stuff. Like she could have all of a sudden like manifested some sort of ability or something based off of the things he told her and based off of the miniature he gave her, right? That could have helped in defeating Vecna thought, let's say, again, I'm just spitballing. These are just things off the top of my head.
Yeah, no,
Like,
no. There's motivations that come from losing Mike as a character as
yeah,
well.
I forgot Will as well. His
Yeah.
love for
Yeah,
Mike could also have just,
yeah.
again, we
Huge,
have
yeah,
another
yeah.
death that Will would just go
You have
nuts and
you literally have all five of the like Lucas,
yeah,
Lucas, Will, Dustin, like all of them would be fucking yeah. Let's go. That's our mate. That's our leader. You've taken
yeah,
out. Let's go for it. But that's that. There's it could have been so many other things that came from that. Where like there's a few things we haven't talked about. I just want to mention as well my thoughts on the last 30 minutes
okay,
of this thing, because I did not care for the epilogue closing of everything lasting for 30 minutes. Don't get me
yeah,
wrong. I know some people actually really liked it. Some people, it's good how you see like Robin and Steve and like Jonathan, Nancy all like getting together. And oh look, it's the D&D group at the end. And then you see where Joyce and Hopper are going in the future. And I was like, that's fine. I like that they did all that stuff. It's nice that they closed it up. 30 minutes? Are you kidding me? 30-minute epilogue? That's long. It's way too long. Cut it down.
it was, and I think out of all of it, the only one I thought was super nice and appropriate was when Mike was leaving, and then Holly and her friends came
Yeah.
down to start their own campaign, almost as a passing of the torch kind of thing. That was
Yeah,
nice. That was really, really
that was,
nice.
I
I think
think,
that was
yeah,
a brilliant
100%. Yeah.
final shot. Hear me out on this, by the way. Like, this is just a spitball
yeah.
idea. Because of the time period it's set in, yeah. Do you think you would have preferred it if it was the old style, like quick clip freeze frame text on the screen, and then Mike went and
No. Okay, I think that probably is possibly one of the worst things. I would not. I was when you were saying this, I was thinking what, because I don't like how they've done it. Certain thing. I like how they've done it. Just cut it shorter. Just please,
Okay.
just cut it shorter.
Okay. So
I don't
there's
want the
my pitch,
Breakfast
right?
Club like
Yeah.
freeze frame like.
That's my pitch. That's the end.
Nah.
But here's the kicker for you. It's only 10 minutes.
It's 10-minute. What, a 10-minute freeze frame thing?
No, it's like, there's different clips and freeze frames and stuff, but like it's not 30 minutes long though. You did like 30 minutes, so I cut it down to 10. You know what? I'll do you one better. I'll cut it down to 5 minutes for you. There you go.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna say this because
He doesn't look sold.
I don't look sold whatsoever. I still kind of hate the idea of it. What I'd run is like there's so many things that come through. Like let's put it like anime endings or like manga endings, because we've seen our fair share of those over the few years, and it's always summarized in one chapter more often than not. It's very rare that you'll get like a few chapters to summarize this thing up. It's I wouldn't have minded like little passing things like just like a song going over the top of it, and then you see each character go through certain things. Like I don't need the whole conversation between Steve, Nancy, Jonathan, Robin saying about I'm gonna do this. Oh, cool! I'm gonna get that. You're just telling me that on the roof. It's cool to see because that's actual friendship groups. This is one thing I think they've written this to appeal to everyone watching. Like this is an actual feeling from it. I can 100% see that. But man, like it. Why are you getting them to tell me this? Why are you getting these characters to be like, I think I'm going to go to college. You know what? I think I'm going to be a baseball coach or something. And it's like, oh, cool. I think you should do that. Like, okay, I don't need all that. And Hopper and Joyce get like the proposal and moving away. Fine. Absolutely love it. And it's cool that you get that whole this is how our first date was, or whatever the fuck they said. I can't remember. Or the song. Something like that. Man, I don't need like a 10-minute scene on that. I don't need this. It's cool that they're the main characters. Don't need that long. Cut that shit down. Give me like 2 minutes of it. Give me 2 minutes. Like the freeze frame thing really bugs me because In some ways, it does solve a problem, but I don't like the way it solves
But
the problem.
it also would have a song play over it, and you helped me think of the perfect song because you said Breakfast Club, so it'd be "Don't You?"
Yeah, fuck, of course it is. I have that song going. It's the only song that would work over it. It's the only song that would work over it. It has to be Breakfast. It has to be Don't You Forget About Me. Futurama. That's all I'm seeing.
That's what I was thinking too. But
Yeah.
right, we'll just push all that to the side. There's one last question I want to ask you, and I watched a video. What do you think of the theory that the ending is actually they didn't win? Vecna,
Yes, okay.
Vecna is still alive
Yeah.
somewhere, somehow, and that actually
Yeah,
everything we saw was just some sort of figment of Vecna's creation.
Cope. Motherfuckers coping so hard. The Duffer Brothers wrote such an unsatisfying ending that fans like, there's gonna be a 9th episode. They wrote ending so bad.
Okay, so
made
like
up their own theories, man. That's bad, bro. No,
the evidence was that like the graduation gowns are orange, like
yes,
prison outfits. Steve, for some reason, is a baseball coach, even though he was a basketball player.
Yes,
There's like other random little bits.
Is it the videotapes or something that's like,
No,
the cassettes that are organized in Morse code, which
said,
you didn't beat me or like you
didn't
win or something
there's
that.
things like that, but like the theory was crafted because there's like small details that everyone's like, that doesn't make any sense.
All the characters are wearing glasses in the front row of the graduation, like Henry did. And you're like, come on, man. Come on. Just admit that it was bad.
I'm telling you, Pepe,
not bad.
The freeze frame is a much better ending.
The freeze frame's better than that fucking ending.
Don't you forget about me.
Okay, here's the ranking of endings, right? My version is of clearly the top one. Cut the original ending down. You don't need 30 minutes of it. After that, it's the freeze frame ending. Sure, that can go in second. The actual ending is there. The Cope ending can go below the original ending. Get over it. The people that have come up with that, get over yourselves, man. Like, there's no. It was so rife after the whole thing. People were like gaslighting themselves into thinking there's a 9th episode dropping on a certain day. It's gonna happen. Nah, man.
Nah, bro. Like, it's not even about the 9th episode. It's about the new spin-off series. They're gonna explain it all.
Yeah. Imagine they create a whole spin-off series. Just again, like it's not a 9th episode, it's a 6th series. Ooh. Nah, I think I'll just be like, I'm quitting the whole thing.
Look, in the grand scheme of things, if there was a fucking spin-off series just to rewrite the ending or like redo everything, I'd much rather my stupid fucking freeze frame ending where I do all the stupid tropes I want.
Yeah. That's it. I think the Duffer Brothers should have like the Smash character poll. Everyone writes in a different ending, and the Duffer Brothers choose the actual alternate ending from all those. This is the ending we chose. Here you go. We're making it.
Wow.
This also brings closing this off. Speaking of the spin-offs of Stranger Things, apparently the Duffer Brothers have signed a 4-year exclusive deal with Paramount in August 2025, and it starts this year in April. So what does that mean for Stranger Things in the future is also up for debate, because that's like, well,
I forget what they were working on something. An actual like existing franchise, wasn't it? Like they were making a show based on. Right, that was it.
They're making a Death Note, but that hasn't been talked about in ages. So I have no clue if it's even going ahead. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because everyone was
Okay.
like, "Yeah, I trusted Duffer Brothers with Death Note," and after this
Is
season, I'm not so sure.
yeah, okay, yeah. They definitely, again, like I said, it's a disservice to everyone
Yeah.
what they did. Yeah, that's okay. But I mean, 4 years is enough time for you to wipe everything from your memory.
What? So hold on. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna do their deal with Paramount. Do what? Make one or two shows realistically. It's not gonna be loads. And then after those 4 years, right, we come back to Stranger Things, where the characters are significantly even more older.
Yeah, I mean,
And that's where the
you don't know what will happen, bro. 4 years is a long time, and 4 years, granted, is long, but in internet terms, it means nothing because on the internet everything is eternal. But it's enough time for everybody to like forget how much they didn't like or didn't enjoy or whatever season 5 of Stranger Things. Enough time for them to have gone off, refresh their brains by doing something else, come back, and like, you know what? We're ready. We're pumped. We're gonna do some more Stranger Things stuff. It's a possibility.
It could be. It could actually happen. I don't think. I think the Duffer Brothers will agree with me that I think this is the end of Stranger Things as we know it. This is where we're gonna see stuff come through in terms of spin-offs with it. I think this is like there will be, and we know there's gonna be some kind of spin-off. I think they've even said there's gonna be like a cartoon or something that's being made.
I thought it was like all
Yeah.
but
Is it?
officially confirmed that there was some sort of
Yeah.
11 spin-off.
Is it? Yeah. I mean, we also do have the stage play right now, which obviously focuses on Henry. Tales from 85 is the is a thing. Is yeah, an animated series. Focusing on depicts 11, Mike, Will, Lucas, Dustin, and Max as they confront new monsters in the Upside Down.
Interesting.
Duffers intend to capture the feel of an 80s Saturday morning cartoon. So,
Interesting.
yeah, it's
Okay.
yeah, I'd like to see where that goes. Yeah, that's I'm not completely sold, but it's just another way of milking Stranger Things at the moment, isn't it? That's the thing. So
Yeah, and it's Netflix, so you know stuff is in the works to milk the shit out of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
there
look
could
at
be
everything else. We've like, I mean, Squid Game. They're working on all their like, you know, K-pop Demon Hunters stuff.
Yeah, Netflix
Like-
aren't afraid to throw money behind franchises they know will get the
Exactly.
views on, really. So yeah.
So I'm sure even if the Duffer Brothers aren't fully attached, I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff coming, regardless.
Yeah, there's definitely something. It might not even Duff Brothers might not even be producing on it. They just be like, look, okay, look, we sign off on this. Like,
Yeah,
go do
exactly.
whatever you need
That's
to,
what I'm
and that's
saying.
all we
Like,
need to, yeah.
they're probably like executive producing. You know, they just like,
Yeah, that's all
okay,
it is, yeah.
this, that, I approve this. This would happen. That would happen. This wouldn't happen. Somebody else wrote everything else and whatever. You know what I mean? Like, because there's no way this is done, and Netflix hasn't been like, okay, how do we make more?
Yeah, exactly. There'll be 100% something there. We just know that there's this cartoon coming, and there'll be more, like you said, focused on 11.
Yeah,
whether-
apparently
what
there's
that ends
the
up being.
11 spin-off coming. I know.
Yeah, there'll be something, no doubt about it. What that ends up, we'll see in the future. What else can we say before we wrap this up? Is there anything you want to mention?
I don't remember. There was something I felt like I wanted to talk about, but I actually don't remember. And I'm going to use this opportunity as one of those times where if I don't remember, it wasn't important.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, fair enough. I think, like, to be fair, I think I've mentioned everything that I've needed to say with this. I think, it's been a fine ending. Is like considering where you look at other series, how they've ended. A lot of like a Game of Thrones, for example, like that. Like,
Yeah.
people rip on that ending. I'd never watched Game of Thrones and all that. Like, but I mean, they've ended this series in a fine way. I'm not completely upset by it. Despite all my criticisms I had of this, I'm not exactly like this is the worst ending ever. They had to wrap it up somehow, and it's fine. That's the whole takeaway from this. Really, it's just a fine ending. Like I'm not blown away by it, but I'm not upset about it either. And that's fine. I'd rather have a fine ending than a shit one. So
True. I mean,
yeah.
This is one of the instances where we're on the opposite side. You know, you can't please everyone, and we're just part of the group that was like, this is not great. I agree with you wholeheartedly, though. Yeah, it's fine. It's just a shame that that's all it comes down to, is that it's fine.
Yeah, after 10 years of what we thought was a great series,
yes,
in the fan. It's just when you compare it to previous seasons, it just doesn't hit the mark as those. It just happens. Yeah. It does just happen with that, and there's a lot of pressure to end series like that in a good way. So it doesn't always work out the way we want to. But that basically brings our episode to a close. Let us know if you have any thoughts on how Stranger Things ended. Are you anticipating the 9th episode, that 6th season? Let us know. If you disagree with us on anything, do let us know as well. We'd really like to hear any opinions.
Or how would you have ended the series? I'd be interested to hear that too.
There we go. Like that. How would you end the series? Please let us know in those comments below. And thank you for listening, guys. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell button for future Cultured Boys videos. Check the links in our description for podcast platforms. They are there. And we'll see you guys next time for another Cultured Boys episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.